of Survivor 48.
The new season of Survivor starts CBS Wednesday, February 26th.
Low pressure is going to bring some snow showers, mainly during the day on Saturday. Could see a couple of inches of the accumulation. We'll have the rest of the forecast coming up.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kevin Hodge. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon breaks down some of the key events from this past week on Capitol Hill. Plus, the Meyer State Games kicks off in Negaunee. We'll hear what kind of special events are in store with athletes set to compete. The Marquette Office of Arts and Culture says this year's Art Week will be the last. We'll hear what they'll be working on next. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
Low pressure, we're bringing in some snowfall during the day here in Marquette, particularly in areas closer to the Wisconsin border. The threat is there all day, but the wind's not too strong. That's good. That means nothing bad in the wind chill department. But a couple of inches can be expected, perhaps 1 to 2 by the end of the day, and temperatures across the region will be in the mid-20s. If any weekend plans, we've got the weekend forecast coming up later in the show. Kevin?
Tom, thank you. A near trade war, cabinet confirmations, and major federal government downsizing efforts were just a few key developments in this past week. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon gives us a look at some of the top stories we followed this week in Washington.
A near trade war, cabinet confirmations, and major downsizing efforts in the federal government were just some of the top developments we were monitoring this week in D.C. Here's a look at some of the other top stories this week in Washington. On Monday, a potential trade war averted for now, as President Trump announced he would hold off on 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico for 30 days. The announcement came in response to Mexico and Canada agreeing to enhance border security and efforts to combat drug trafficking. Democrats this week sounding the alarm over concerns about Elon Musk's close access to Treasury Department systems.
That is why we are introducing the Taxpayer Data Protection Act to shield the American people from this out-of-control power grab.
Trump's top government efficiency advisor moving rapidly this week to reduce the size and scope of the federal government.
President Trump was elected with a mandate from the American people to make this government more efficient.
Democrats cautioned that less federal workers could impact vital programs like Social Security, Medicare, and VA benefits.
President Trump's federal hiring freeze will exacerbate these staffing problems, hurt seniors, hurt people with disabilities, and harm veterans.
Downsizing efforts continued with the administration's federal civilian employee buyout. More than 40,000 employees were reported to have accepted the buyout as of Wednesday, ahead of the 11:59 Thursday deadline. But in response to legal challenges filed by federal workers' unions, a federal judge temporarily blocked the buyout plan until a court hearing on Monday. Over a week after the deadly collision between a Black Hawk military helicopter and American Airlines Flight 5342, all 67 victims have been identified. The FAA now examining other airports across the country that also see high volumes of helicopter traffic in the same area as commercial jets.
And I asked the FAA today to conduct a review of helicopter routes, not just at DCA, but at other airports across the country.
Many of President Trump's cabinet picks saw success this week, including RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, whose nominations advanced through committee. The two cabinet picks are expected to receive a final vote in the Senate next week. That's a look at This Week in Washington. I'm Brendan Scanlon. Back to you.
A new report from the Labor Department shows the job market remains healthy, but there are signs of a slowdown. Kelly O'Grady breaks down the numbers.
Take a deep breath. The healthcare industry continues to bring on new workers, adding 44,000 jobs in January. U.S. retailers also hired thousands of employees. Overall, the economy added 143,000 jobs last month. It's less than expected, but numbers for November and December were revised significantly higher. That helped push the unemployment rate down from 4.1%.
The job market remains solid.
CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger says the report also shows wages are growing faster than inflation. However, the Trump administration's tariffs on Chinese imports and the possibility Canada and Mexico could see tariffs in less than 30 days has some employers hesitating to hire.
A lot of companies planning for this year, maybe taking a more defensive approach, which is another reason why we could see the labor market start to slow down a little bit.
And for many job seekers, it's taking longer to find work. A survey from the job placement firm Career Group found 20% of applicants have been looking 10 to 12 months or longer. 30% say they've been searching for 4 to 6 months.
Companies are hiring. However, it's taking longer because many of them are dragging their feet. They're deciding exactly what they need. And there's a lot of consolidation that's going on.
And employers are posting fewer jobs. The Labor Department says there were 7.6 million job openings in December, a historically healthy number, but down from previous months.
House Republicans in Michigan have introduced economic policy focused on family affordability. State lawmakers introduced the package of 3 bills earlier this week. The legislation would introduce family and child tax credits, remove sales and use taxes from child care items, and create an option for families to start tax-deductible child care savings accounts. The bill's authors say their goal is to relieve some financial stress to make it easier to start a family in Michigan.
That starts with making sure that no matter where you live in Michigan, there's opportunities to put money back in your pocketbook and make sure that you're saving more of your money.
The bills are now waiting for a hearing in the House Committee for Economic Competitiveness. There is more information on our website and mobile news app. Today, 65 UP high school students put their knowledge of trades to the test in the Skills USA regional competition at Bay College. Students competed in automated welding and computers for a chance to move on to the state competition in April. Students who placed first in their category also earned a $2,500 scholarship from Bay College, and those in second place earned a $1,000 scholarship. Whether students won or lost, they say Skills USA helps them prepare for their future career.
It makes you really appealing to companies and colleges because they see that you have drive. Even if you don't place or you don't do that good, the fact that you came and did it and the fact that you decided to come compete in something you're passionate about shows a lot about you. It's a lot of fun, and like the people you meet here is awesome too.
February is Career and Technical Education Month, and every student who competed today is enrolled in a state-approved CTE program. The Meijer State Games officially opened this evening in downtown Negaunee. Our John Truitt was on hand to watch the ski and snowboard rail jam.
The city of Negaunee was the place to be for some high-flying action at the inaugural event of this year's Meijer State Games, the Ski and Snowboard Rail Jam. The event began with the traditional lighting of the cauldron, followed by one of the most popular events. Event organizer Courtney Miner says the games have something for everyone.
The Meijer State Games, or the State Games as a whole, is an Olympic-style multi-sport event for athletes of all ages and abilities. So it's really for anyone and everyone that's willing or wanting to try to get involved in different sports.
The Meijer State Games have been around downstate for a while, but they are fairly new to the UP.
We've been around for around 15 years now, and we're going into our 4th year up in the UP.
Miner points out the huge range in ages of the athletes.
Our athletes range in a wide range of ages. The youngest is 3. The oldest that we have participated in our games is 87. And we have athletes in archery. We also have badminton. Oh my goodness, we have bowling. We have wrestling, figure skating. So we have so many different sports going on.
There were some VIPs in the crowd as well. Shane Heems won a gold medal in baseball at the 2000 Sydney Olympics. He's glad he made the trip north.
It's amazing. You know, it's a good turnout. First time in the city. You know, I'm down south of Michigan. I don't think people understand how big Michigan really is until you get in a car and drive 10 hours north.
Competition for the 13 events wraps up February 9th. In Negaunee, John Truitt, WZMQ 19 News.
This year, the games were held in conjunction with Negaunee's Hikalunta Winter Festival. The Marquette Office of Arts and Culture has announced this year's Art Week will be their last one. 2025 will be the 10-year milestone for Marquette Art Week. This year's theme is Stories. The community is invited to a drop-in brainstorming meeting on February 11th to explore project ideas for the final Art Week. They're moving on from the Art Week so they can expand to accommodate Marquette's growing art scene.
The projects and programs and installations that happen during Art Week, we've realized the impact of those is well beyond 1 week of the year. And that's really what all of this is about. It's making Art Week every week of the year.
The brainstorming meetings will be from 2 to 4 and from 5 to 6:45 at the Marquette Arts and Culture Center downstairs at the library. Tom DeVecchio has your first warning weather forecast after the break. Plus, we'll get a sneak peek at what kind of Super Bowl ads we might see on Sunday. And Americans may be less interested in the big game this year, considering a big drop in ticket prices. We'll be right back after this.
A progressive jackpot that grows with every play. That's what makes Fast Cash so thrilling. The jackpot keeps building and building until... Jackpot. Fast Cash, only from the Michigan Lottery.
The UP loves to be outdoors. Running, fishing, hiking, biking. If it's happening outside, you want to be a part of it. And this little baby is what you need to be ready. It's local and 100% free, 24/7. WZMQ 19's news app can show you the best times to be out, what to wear, how to stay safe, whether to bring along the kids. It's your problem-solving power tool. The WZMQ 19 app, now playing on a phone near you.
Tonight, wow! Colbert's got Deion Sanders.
I just wish you were comfortable in the spotlight.
And John Lithgow. CBS Tonight.
Welcome to Car Breakdowns 101. I'm your Professor Ice-T. If your car is out of warranty, a car breakdown could eat you alive. Look at that car. The transmission alone could cost you $3,000. And that engine? How much do you love your kidneys? Don't even get me started on the computer system. That's a small fortune. Do what I did and call CarShield. They get expensive car repairs taken care of so you don't have to. Class dismissed.
Call 800-859-0084.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed. John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to fix their car. Was that right? For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market. Why do I keep forgetting that word? Experience. Okay, go. 3, 2. For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Market.
And don't forget, we're our...
Escanaba reporter Lily Simmons on WZMQ 19 News. Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Tom DeVecchio.
Checking out the headlines for Marquette as we look. We have a cold night, certainly a cold night here. Looks fairly tranquil, though, and not expecting much in the way of snowfall. That changes, though, by daybreak, or maybe even before daybreak, out toward Ironwood, Iron Mountain area, where some snow will come in. But everyone will get affected by the snow. We'll be there throughout the day. Not particularly heavy, though. Could be steady at times and maybe a couple of inches here. And next week, we're looking for a warm-up, any modification in the air, not seeing it. If anything, we're going to have a colder week next week than we did this week. So the winds shift toward the north as we head on through the end of the day on Saturday as that front goes on by. But it's not a particularly strong front as far as dynamics. That means that we don't have a lot of wind with it, and that trend will continue Saturday night into Sunday. So that's good news, because as the colder air comes in, looks like we won't have any dangerous wind chills out of this. So here comes the snow. And as I mentioned earlier in the evening, kind of skirts us here. The main low goes through central Wisconsin. So the Upper Peninsula is on the northern fringes of that snow, and that trend will continue throughout the day on Saturday. Mainly light. And again, maybe a little steady. Saturday night, as the winds go more northwest, some limited lake effect. The air not all that unstable, so we'll expect a lot for Saturday night. Most of it would be east of Marquette, probably towards Sault Ste. Marie as well, with some minor snow showers on the western shores of the Upper Peninsula. Near Houghton, perhaps Marquette here, we just don't see a lot from the lake effect. But we do expect maybe about 1.5 inches of snow as we head toward the day Saturday, just from that low. higher amounts along the Wisconsin border. Can't rule out maybe a few of you there near Florence and out toward northern Wisconsin, perhaps getting about 3 inches of snow. And out towards Sault Ste. Marie, looking at about an inch there as well. So not a lot of snow, but it will slicken up those roads as always. Please take care traveling if you are going out tomorrow. Lows tonight will be dropping into the teens. Highs tomorrow in the lower to mid 20s across the region, with those bands of snow. As we head towards Sunday, pretty tranquil but cold, looking at upper teens here. And next week, again, if you want that warm up, not here. We'll try to get above 20 on Monday. After that, forget it. We'll be in the teens probably into Friday as well. Might not even get above 10 on Tuesday, with at least 1 or 2 days probably having below 0 temperatures. On the good side, unless you really love the snow, not seeing much of it here. The air will be pretty dry and pretty stable right on through Friday.
Tom, thanks very much. With the big game on Sunday, many are also watching for those Super Bowl ads, of course. Some companies have already teased or released their TV spots to build buzz. Bradley Blackburn has more on what we can expect this year.
Budweiser is bringing back a classic, hitching up its famous Clydesdales to tug on feelings of nostalgia. Advertising experts say in a charged political climate, a lot of brands will be playing it safe during this year's big game.
You guys sure you want this? Please, sir. They don't want to alienate consumers. They don't want to offend consumers. 90% are going to be humorous, jokes. There's going to be very few that really touch that social political nerve.
Some 30-second spots this Sunday are selling for a record $8 million. So brands are spending big, securing celebrities to grab attention.
There you are. Wow.
3 famous Chris's, that's Hemsworth, Pratt, and Kris Jenner, are donning Ray-Ban glasses powered by Meta. And Mayo maker Hellmann's is having Harry meet Sally again, recreating their famous deli scene from the 80s hit.
What's happening? There we go.
Celebrities are always a staple of Super Bowl ads. This year, no different. We have the remake of When Harry Met Sally. We're doing a Fast and Furious remake.
It's not just human celebrities. Supermarket superstars from Mr. Clean to the Kool-Aid Man are teaming up in an ad for Instacart. If companies are using artificial intelligence to help generate their ads, insiders say they probably won't disclose it, fearing a backlash from consumers like we saw with Coca-Cola's AI-generated holiday campaign.
They don't really want to take the risk necessarily. I don't know if they're not using it or they're not saying they're using it.
However the sausage is made, the ads are coming your way, hoping to pull your attention come Sunday.
The Super Bowl could reach a TV audience of more than 120 million people this weekend. And there's still time to secure tickets for the big game, but it might cost you a pretty penny. According to StubHub, the average ticket price to see the Kansas City Chiefs take on the Philadelphia Eagles is about $7,000. That figure is actually 16% down from last year's big game in Las Vegas. StubHub spokesperson Adam Bedelli says fatigue could be a factor in the lower ticket sales.
Both fan bases have won a Super Bowl in the past 10 years, obviously the Chiefs more than others. So at some point, maybe you're willing to spend a little bit less to see that next Super Bowl win.
StubHub says it's expecting a strong showing at the Superdome for the Birds, with 21% of ticket sales coming from Pennsylvania. About 10% are buyers in Missouri and Kansas. It's Friday, and that means Mike Ludlum has a whole lot of sports highlights for us. He shows us Michigan Tech hockey taking on Bemidji State, and then switches to your high school basketball after this.
19 News is brought to you by Kirkish Furniture.
If you're living with diabetes, this is the sound that could change your life.
Great news for people living with diabetes. Now you can wear a continuous glucose monitor and eliminate routine finger sticks. The days of repeated, painful finger sticks are over.
Just call 800-251-1397.
If you use insulin daily to manage your condition, a continuous glucose monitor could help you control your diabetes and reduce or eliminate those painful finger sticks. If you have Medicare or private insurance, US Med can deliver a CGM system right to your door. And if you qualify, there may be little or no cost to you. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurer directly. Call now to get your continuous glucose monitoring system so you can take control of your diabetes and get back to enjoying life.
Just call 800-251-1397. That's 800-251-1397.
Tonight, Colbert's got Deion Sanders.
I just wish you were comfortable in the spotlight.
And John Lithgow. CBS Tonight.
PTSD isn't something that is just going to go away on its own.
Treatment works. It helps.
There's no shame in treatment.
Just do it. Your world will be so different afterwards.
It's a warrior sickness. It's not a coward sickness.
Never too late.
I guarantee you it'll help you.
It will change your life.
It turned my life around.
You can find peace.
I never thought I could feel this good.
Walk through those doors, take the step.
Go get help. It's the best and bravest thing you could ever do.
Treatment works.
Get connected to your community and your world. Scan this right now for weather, news, video, community events, instantly at your fingertips. The app from 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. Dragons, Knights, and legendary sights. That's the theme for Michigan Tech's Winter Carnival this year. If Minnesota State Moorhead had a hockey team, that would be a great opponent. Moorhead's nickname is the Dragons. Alas, I digress. The Huskies have Bemidji State this weekend, better known as the Beavers. So let us go to the Indiana Student Ice Arena for this one. We're going to pick it up in the third period. Beavers up 2-0, wild scramble in front of the net, and eventually Owen Baker is going to get the goal at 3:53, so the Huskies are on the board down 2-1. However, Bemidji State scored the next 3 goals. Jake McLean will get this one here, and that made it 5-1 at 10:29. On the power play, Michigan Tech keeps battling along. Matthew Campbell will put this one in right there. Henry Bartle and Owen Baker the assists, so 5-2 Beavers, 12:27. And Michigan Tech would score again as Jace Pietla would put one behind the red line. That was at 17:52, but they could not get any closer. Bemidji State wins this one 5-3. Game 2, Saturday at 5:07 p.m. Excuse me. On the scoreboard, NMU had goals in the second period by Graydon Slipik and Jesse Tucker, but Grant Hinman scored for the Lakers in the third. Lake Superior State wins 3-2 over Northern. St. Thomas downs Bowling Green 4-1. Minnesota State the same to Augustana 4-1. And in Big Ten hockey, Garrett Shafisky scored in the last minute of regulation for the Maize and Blue. Wolverines 2, Spartans 1. High school hockey, Calumet scored the final 2 goals and defeated Marquette 2-1. Jeffers all over Sheboygan 10-0. Oh, excuse me. Houghton edges Hancock 3-2, and Nolan Bink with a hat trick. Escanaba downs to Pier 4-2. Manistee also beat the Howell B team 8-0. High school girls basketball. Let us start with Ishpeming at Negaunee. Before the girls' game, Negaunee honored its seniors from both the boys and girls teams. First quarter, senior Aubrey Johnson takes off to her left, uses the left hand in for the layup. 3-0 Negaunee. Aubrey had 14 points. Ishpeming's turn. Maya Hemmer to Janessa Eagle, drives, uses the referee for a screen, well, at least on me. That was good, and the foul. Tied at 5, she had 13 points. Then Kira Waterman would find Gretel Johnson on the backdoor layup. Gretel had 11. Then Johnson's combine here as they will find Claire O'Donnell ahead of the pack for an easy hoop and a 10-5 advantage. Madison Peckrell will fake to Aubrey Johnson and give it to Gretel Johnson. Looks like Menominey's old football single wing here. She knocks down the jumper, 12-5 Maize and Blue. Izzy Perry, a Hematite senior, will can this jump shot, but Negaunee is your winner this time by the score of 44-30. How about Wingding basketball? The Houghton and Hancock girls getting going in the first quarter. Livia Pelly inside the K. Pietla off the window for 2. Bulldogs get the opening bucket. Gremlins respond. Ellie Hano is triple team, but she finds Tessa Raudiol in the corner for 3. And Houghton is up 3-2. Next Hancock possession, Kay Pietla to Sophie Freeman. She finds a cutting Emery Chenoweth for the basket, and the Bulldogs are up 4-3. Houghton will grab an offensive rebound. J.C. Sleeman to Ellie Hainold for 3, 6-4 orange and black. Crimson and Gold's turn. Sadie Biakala drives the lane. She hits the left-hander off the glass, and we are tied at 6. Hancock stole a pass and made a layup to take a 2-point lead. Then Houghton's Ava Gerard collected a rebound, was scored, and fouled. Gremlins had the lead, but the Bulldogs with the minor upset winning this one 44-41 over the Gremlins. To the girls' numbers, Calumet over Escanaba 58-40. Aubrey Moore hit a layup with less than a second remaining. Kingsford edges Marquette 39-37. Gladstone easily over Menominee 61-25. Lexi Olson 20 points for Westwood. Patriots 49, Manistee 33. Elsie Williams had 24 for Forest Park in the 7-point win over West Iron County. It was Bessemer edging Chassell 33-31. Barriga 6 better than Jeffers 47-41. 41 a winning number for Park River Harris over Superior Central's 22. Sault Ste. Marie made a long trip down to DeWitt. Panthers are very good. They won 63-34. And Brooklyn Dampier went over the 1,000-point mark for Lance in the 66-21 win over Dollar Bay. Boys' turn. Let us go to Ishpeming at Negaunee. We'll pick this up late in the third quarter. Caden Luma buries the triple try from John Wheeler. Ishpeming cuts the deficit to 35-30 after 3 quarters to the fourth. Wheeler, another assist. Levi Nichols, bang, that one's good from 3-point land. Ishpeming trails 35-33. Hematites again. Ethan Corp, Caden Luma. Excuse me, that darn cold, I tell you. Luma led all scores with 20 points, hitting the long 2 there. We're tied at 35. Negaunee inbound. Jordan Gannett to Ethan Gauthier over to Barrett Heslip. He will drive, hits the jumper that just crawls over the front of the rim. Miners by 3, 38-35. Then Jordan Gannett uses a Holden Myers screen, heads to the lane, and he will sink this tough little shot. Negaunee makes just enough free throws to win 44-39. Back up for Wingding basketball on the boys' side. Houghton and Hancock first quarter, second minute of play for the Gremlins. Lane locks to Isaiah Lawson for 3, and the Gremlins are on the board first. A few minutes later, Hancock does not match up defensively soon enough, and Terry Nolan cans the 3-pointer, 7-0 Gremlins. Bulldogs need 5 minutes to get on the scoreboard. Isaac Wanala to Ryan Froyland. Nice move inside for the basket here. Houghton, though, led 9-2. And Mason Mayo will get the putback next for the orange and black. And Houghton cruises to the victory 61-21. To the numbers here, Marquette in the Lower Peninsula beats up on Traverse City St. Francis 82-50. A.J. Galino, 21 points on 7 triples. Mason Trudeau had 23 on 4 3-pointers. Norway over Escanaba 78-51. Iron Mountain easily defeats Gwynn 73-27. Munising 25 better than North Central 54-29. Zach Schwartz had 28 points for Stevenson as they took care of Kearney NATO 92-62. It was Mackinac Island over Munising Baptist 64-54. Whitefield Marinesco 69, Ontonagon 56. In overtime, it was Dollar Bay 69, Lance 65, and we will be right back to complete the scoreboard.
Stay tuned to save $10 on the amazing socket fan light from Bell & Howell.
When you're hot, nothing feels better than the gentle cooling breeze of a ceiling fan. This is the revolutionary socket fan by Bell & Howell. The amazing 2-in-1 ceiling fan and light. If you can screw in a light bulb, you can hang the socket fan light. Socket fan comes with this handy remote. With a push of a button, you can control the light and the breeze that you need. Socket fan fits any standard light socket. You can do it yourself and install socket fan in less than 10 seconds.
And now, the socket fan light with deep socket extender is yours for $59.95. Act now, and we'll take $10 off. So you get it for just $49.95 with free shipping. Order now, and you can get a second fan for 50% off, and the shipping is free.
Get cool fast with socket fan.
Call 1-800-506-4503 or go to buysocketfan.com.
Direct.
Don't you ever look up at the sky and roll your eyes. You hear me?
Yes.
Realistic.
I will maybe have a tendency to spend too much and won't be able to pay your rent.
He holds the line.
I resent it, and I resent you for doing it.
Mathis Court is in session.
Weekdays on WZMQ CBS. Sophia Murphy reports at 6 and 11 on WZMQ 19 News. Tonight's sports is brought to you by the Window Store.
Give your home a fresh new look with our energy-efficient windows and stylish doors. And here's a deal you won't want to miss. For a limited time, when you buy 3 windows or doors, you'll get 1 free. That's right, buy 3, get 1 free. Don't wait. This offer ends February 28th. Call today and start transforming your home with the Window Store. Quality windows, doors, and unbeatable savings. Only at the Window Store.
Snow bands will come in just before daybreak off toward the west and slide across the Upper Peninsula through the day. And we could see 1 to 2 for many of us, including probably about 1.5 inches of snow expected here near Marquette. Maybe a heavier weight snow, not a wet slushy snow per se, but might be a little bit harder to shovel, and might even be a bit of snow pellets in there as well. And temperatures across the area will be in the mid-20s, kind of at that range where sometimes we can get maybe a pellety type snow, not really sleet per se, but that could make the roadway slippery, even though we don't expect a lot of accumulation. Into Sunday, looking pretty good here. Next week, as I mentioned, we'll try to get to 20 one day, but after that, Tuesday right on into the rest of the week. She's cold, and in fact, near 10 on Tuesday. Several nights and early morning hours would be below 0. Winds not all that strong, and as you can see, the air is fairly stable, fairly dry. We don't expect a whole lot in the way of snowfall. Kevin, back to you.
Tom, thanks very much. Mike, let's get to the rest of those scores.
Okay, not too bad. We should be both 50s in. Barker over Harris over Superior Central 47-36. It was Newberry 54, Engadine 34. Pickford no trouble with Cedarville Detour. That was 69-24. Rudyard Downs Brimley 70-59. It was Bessemer over Chassel 70-58. And Sheboygan took care of St. Ignace 74-50. Pistons win tonight 125-112 over Philadelphia. Malik Beasley 36 points on 9 3-pointers. Tobias Harris at 22 points and 9 rebounds as well, and a double-double for Jalen Duren. But the Bucks lost to Atlanta 115-110.
Very quickly, Mike, Super Bowl prediction.
Oh, I hate making these. I hate
I said very quickly, Mike. I'm going with the Eagles. Mike's will remain a mystery. We'll see you. We'll see you on Monday.
Shop our huge selection of Amish-crafted dining room sets at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Browse our large in-stock collection and customize with a special order. With 1-year no-interest financing available, plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture today.